You walk into a place you have never been, new street, new room, and your body goes still because something quietly insists, I have stood right here before. And it lands as a feeling first, not a thought. A small shiver across the back of your neck, a half second where the room feels too familiar. So your mind reaches for the file. When was I here? Who was I with? And the drawer comes back empty. Familiar, but with no when. And then the spooky part arrives. For one breath, it feels like you already know what happens next, like the moment is a rerun you half remember. So you do the natural thing. You blame the simulation, a past life, a dream you forgot, anything to explain a memory that points nowhere. And you are nowhere near alone in this. Most people feel it at some point. Plenty of us a few times a year. It is one of the most common strange things a normal brain just does. But here's the turn. Scientists can switch this feeling on in a lab. They have triggered it with electricity and built it from scratch in virtual reality. And what they found is calmer than the Matrix. So here's the plan. 3 things researchers actually did to déjà vu, plus the one creepy part they tested and quietly debunked. Because once you see the wiring underneath, that little shiver stops feeling like a warning. It starts feeling almost ordinary. First, the obvious question. Is this thing even real? Or just a story your memory tells after the fact to fill a gap? Turns out it is real enough that scientists can reach in and produce it on command, which is where Module 1 begins. Deep in your temporal lobe, the strip of brain behind your ear, sits the network that decides whether something feels familiar. Think of it as your recognition desk. All day. This desk runs one quiet job. Have I seen this before? Yes or no? And how strongly? Most of the time it answers instantly, and you never notice it working. But it is a physical thing, made of cells and current, and anything physical can be poked, which means a feeling that seems mystical has a switch you can actually press. And here's the part that genuinely surprised me. Doctors did not have to wait for déjà vu to happen on its own. They learned how to start it. This came from people with epilepsy, whose brains were already being mapped before surgery, with tiny electrodes placed inside the temporal lobe. While that map was being made, the team could send a faint current into very specific spots and ask the person, calmly, what they felt. And when the current touched one particular zone, people reported it out loud. This feels familiar. I have been here before. Déjà vu, on demand, from a wire. So the feeling is not a ghost in the machine. It is the recognition desk getting buzzed directly instead of by a real memory. The signal is identical either way. And the buzz had an address. The strongest spot was not where most people would guess. It sat in the rhinal cortex, a small entry hub feeding your memory system. That spot matters because it is basically the front door of memory. Everything you take in passes through it on the way to being filed. Buzz the door, and your brain reports familiar before anything is actually stored. Now, the honest caveat, because this is the whole point of this channel. This was done in people with epilepsy, mid-evaluation, not in a random healthy volunteer off the street. Still, the result is hard to argue with. Stimulating that temporal lobe network reliably triggered the dreamy déjà vu state. The recognition desk has a physical location and a button. This is the work researchers point to when they say déjà vu has real hardware. A mapped region, a repeatable result, a feeling you can switch on. Okay, so Module 1 says the feeling is built in, and it lives in the part of your brain that handles familiarity, but that still leaves the everyday version. Because nobody is sending current into your head at the coffee shop, so Module 2 asks the better question. What pushes that familiarity button during normal life? And here, researchers got clever. Instead of waiting for spontaneous déjà vu, they tried to build it on purpose, in healthy people, in virtual reality. They sent volunteers on a virtual tour through rooms, a junkyard, a garden, a hallway, ordinary scenes, nothing memorable, just places to walk through. Then later, a new scene. A bowling alley, say? Completely different theme, different objects never seen before, by every normal measure brand new. Except the layout was a secret copy. The objects sat in the exact same spots as that earlier junkyard. Same geometry, different skin, and people did not consciously notice. And in that copied layout, déjà vu spiked. People felt strongly that they had been there, while having zero memory of the room it was copied from. So sit with what that means. Your memory was not matching the scene, it was matching the shape of the scene, the arrangement of things in space. And that fits how your brain works. It is constantly tracking layout, where the door is, where the table sits, so it can move through a place without thinking. Layout is one of the first things it quietly logs. Your recognition desk caught that pattern. This spatial layout rings a bell, long before your slow, detailed memory could say which bell. So it flagged familiar with no source. And this was not a one-off. The lab built it first in static scenes, then rebuilt it years later in moving walk-through worlds. The effect held both times. That is the cleanest answer science has for everyday déjà vu, not the Matrix. A familiar spatial pattern firing before recall catches up. One honest line though, researchers call this the single mechanism they can reliably reproduce, not proof of what causes every déjà vu you will ever have, real, but not the whole map. And I have to stop here, because this is exactly why this channel exists. The boring lab answer is the reassuring one. Your memory caught a pattern. If a topic ever rattles you, drop it below, new one every week. But maybe you are still holding the creepiest part. The one that makes déjà vu feel less like memory and more like prophecy. Because in the middle of déjà vu, a lot of people swear they can feel what comes next. The road is about to bend left. She is about to say my name, as if you are remembering the future. This is the part that gets dressed up as a gift. Premonition, a glitch in the simulation. Proof that time is not what we think. So researchers did the obvious thing. They tested it. Back in virtual reality, they let people feel that strong sense of knowing what was coming. Then, right at the fork, they made them actually call it. Which way does the path turn? If déjà vu were genuine prediction, people should beat a coin flip. The feeling is intense, after all. Surely it points somewhere true. It pointed nowhere. They guessed the turn at chance exactly as well as flipping a coin. The certainty was real. The accuracy was not there at all. So the premonition is not a window into the future. It is the same familiarity signal leaking sideways. The feeling of knowing stamped onto a guess that knows nothing. And the reason it fools us is simple. We treat strong feelings as evidence. If knowing feels this certain, it must be true. But certainty is just a feeling too. And this one is running on empty. And in case you think this is one weird study, they found the very same illusion in sound. Half hearing a piano line, people feel sure of the next note and miss a chance. Different sense, identical trick. A strong feeling of knowing attached to an answer that is just a guess. The hunch is honest about being a hunch. We are the ones who upgrade it to a prophecy. So that is the scary layer diffused. The thing that felt psychic is your brain being loudly confident and quietly blank at the same time. And honestly, naming that helps in the moment. Next time it hits, you can tell yourself the plain version. Strong familiarity, missing source. My memory caught a shape. Because all three modules point at one quiet machine. A recognition desk that screens everything for. I have seen this faster than the slow filing cabinet that knows when and where. Usually those two agree. The shape feels familiar, and a memory shows up to explain it. You think, oh right, this is like my aunt's kitchen, and the feeling resolves. Déjà vu is the rare moment they disagree. The fast desk shouts familiar. The slow cabinet finds nothing, and for one strange second you feel known by a memory that will not show its face. And here is the honest edge of the science. In healthy people, how often you get déjà vu did not track how sharp their memory was. Less a memory flaw, more a monitoring hiccup. So picture a quiet inspector that double-checks every familiar flag. Does this signal hold up? Is there a real memory behind it? Most of the time, yes. In déjà vu, the inspector shrugs and you feel the gap. Meaning your memory is not broken or weak. It is the check on top, the part watching memory, that briefly throws a familiar flag it cannot back up. A small mismatch, not a defect. So here's the reframe, and it is the calm one. You are not wired to log every moment with a timestamp. You are wired to catch patterns fast, to feel familiar first, and find the source later. Déjà vu is that exact wiring caught mid-step. The pattern catcher fired on time. The source finder just had not arrived yet. Two systems, slightly out of sync. And that is not a bug in you. A brain that flags familiar fast is a brain that learns fast, navigates fast, recognizes danger and home and faces in a blink. The same speed that occasionally trips, that speed is the whole point. For your ancestors, knowing this place feels familiar in a heartbeat could mean safety or threat before the slow details arrived. The fast flag earned its keep. You are wired for quick recognition, not for perfect record keeping. Different setting, not a broken one. The shiver is that setting working a half second ahead of itself. And I will be real with you, I find that weirdly comforting. The strangest feeling I have has a wire, a lab, and a plain explanation. If that helps you too, you are exactly who this is for. Module 1. There is a real spot in your temporal lobe that produces this, and doctors have switched it on. The feeling has hardware. Module 2. In virtual reality, a copied spatial layout triggers it on cue. Your memory matches the shape of a place, not the place. Module 3. The I knew what was coming part guesses at chance. The certainty is loud, the prediction is empty. Premonition, quietly retired. So next time it hits you in some new room, you do not have to reach for the matrix. You can just think, my recognition desk got there first. Pattern caught, source pending. The shiver does not have to mean prophecy or a crack in reality. It can just mean a fast, ordinary brain doing the fast, ordinary thing it was built to do. And that was the whole promise. Not a glitch in the simulation, just memory, catching a familiar shape a half second before it can tell you where from. If this one settled something in you, that is the whole reason I make these. Tell me the feeling that has always quietly freaked you out, and it might be the next one. You're not broken. You're just wired different. I'm Milo.